Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome each and every one of y'all to this week's edition of Southern Woods and Waters. Got a little damp this evening out there, and I think we got some more coming tonight, but I hope you're all dry and safe and home with friends and family watching the show. Got a really exciting one for you tonight. We're going to be covering a lot of different information, but we're going to be taking you on a very exciting turkey hunt in Middle Tennessee with myself and my buddy Jack Reynolds from just a few weeks ago, and we were able to, we've hunted together for years and years, but for the first time, we doubled up on a pair of gobblers here in Middle Tennessee, and we're going to get to share that with you guys. We're really looking forward to that. But tonight also, Dayton and I have got a very special guest on the set with us tonight. We've got our buddy Mark Brassfield here, and a lot of y'all are going to recognize Mark not only from his advertising here on our show, but just from around Nashville in general. You have operated the Nashville Safe House now for, have you made it to 30 years yet?
Well, May 3rd was 29.
Okay,
29 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
I knew that your site was at 29 years, but guys, for a long time here, right here in Nashville, 4th Avenue South, I believe it is.
Right down the road. Yeah.
And right down the street here from the studio, and we're going to be talking with Mark tonight, not only about just a lot of the different products you offer. This is just a little showroom. I mean, y'all have probably seen parts of it before, yes. But Mark, you've got a massive selection of safes and different types of products down there. You've got a couple of different things here tonight that we're going to kind of preview here in a little while, and then you guys want to make sure you stay tuned, because here in a little while you will have a chance to win a couple of things tonight that Mark's brought with him to give away. So super excited about that. But the first thing I just want to kind of start out with, Mark, is that, you know, you do have lots and lots of products. We're not just, we kind of talk around here, you know, people are mostly thinking gun safes, but you carry gun safes, you carry home safes. A few weeks ago, we showed storm shelters that you carry. So what are some of the different, I guess let's just start with gun safes or home safes. You have multiple brands, but somebody that, let's say, looking for something to keep their guns in, what would be the difference in that and say someone that wanted to keep, say, family heirloom valuables in, would they be looking at something different there, or just kind of something along the same lines?
Well, a safe is really just what you put in it. So if you put guns in it, it could be a gun safe or a jewelry safe or whatever you want to, you know, designate it as. The biggest thing I see from customers is they may put guns in one side and other valuables, whether it's family pictures, important paperwork, car titles, birth certificates, you know, gold coins, money, whatever it is. So most of your safes are multi-function kind of things. That's what I see the most now. I have a lot of people that come in that just put guns in them, and I have people come in and buy multiple safes to put guns. So Tennessee is a well-armed state, and I see that all the time.
We're proud of you. You definitely know.
No, I'm definitely proud of. I'm Second Amendment kind of guy.
The store's got so much product in it. I mean,
it does. There's constantly something in stock. You're running specials a lot of times too. You mentioned people come in and get multiple safes. Is it kind of like when you build a new garage or something? When you go get a safe, do you recommend somebody steps up a little bigger than what they think they need?
Well, most of the customers I talk to, one of the first things I tell them is get a safe bigger than you think you need, because if my joke is if I had $100 every time someone came in that had bought a safe, they said I need a bigger safe, I'd be retired down on the beach somewhere. But I mean, honestly, if you have the room for it, get a little bit bigger safe, because like you said, it's like a garage. You can't ever build a garage big enough.
You think you need this size and you fill it right back up.
Oh, you will. And my record with one customer is 32 safes.
Wow.
And he had them full of guns. So. But, most of the time someone will buy a safe and a couple years later they'll come back and buy another one or something.
Sure.
But,
or
fill that one up.
Fill that one up. But we do also do vault doors. So one of the big things, and it's kind of stepped up in the past couple of years, but a lot of people are building storm shelter, safe room, vault room kind of things.
That's a major product we need here around. A lot of people need a storm shelter.
Yeah, because
and then we also do above ground storm shelter prefab units. And we do them custom sizes, standard sizes, stuff like that. So,
I think that's such a big deal now, because with us doing all the construction and stuff we do around Wilson County, it's such rocky ground. I mean, there's not much chance of digging an underground shelter in some places, and a lot of people are going to these above grounds.
Unless you already have a basement house or something, you can slide it in.
But those days are just about over too, than basement houses.
Well, of course, I do above ground shelters. I'm kind of biased toward that. I grew up in the West west side of the state. My grandmother had a root cellar.
Yeah.
Right.
And I hated going in that thing even when there were tornadoes coming. But one of the things, I duck hunt quite a bit over in Reelfoot.
Yeah.
And that tornado that came through there.
Yeah.
There was a couple over there that had one of those shelters that had the door that opened out, and a tree fell against that shelter door. And the only way they got out is they stuck a broom handle through it, and a guy saw them waving this broom back and forth to get out.
Wow.
So I'm not a big fan of being in anything that you can get stuck in. Like our shelters have in-swing doors, so you can always kind of crawl out through debris and stuff filled or something like that.
That's right.
But I'm a big advocate for stuff that you can get out of as well as get
Resistant,
into.
all that good stuff.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
sure.
So-
Don't you do you any good if you can't get out of there.
I mean, you're in
no, the rat in the cage kind of thing's not one of my things. Yeah, I don't like that. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Now, what kind of is separation in different levels of safes? And as you walk through the selection there, I mean, you'll see different price ranges, different sizes. Is that mainly? I know there's different fire safe times, for example, or different temperatures. Is that kind of mainly what separates the different grades of safes?
Well, there's probably about 3 or 4 different things. One is the fire that you were talking about, which there's different ways to look at fire, which I'll describe here in a second.
Yeah.
And then metal thickness on the door and the body, and
Okay.
then bolt size, and then interior. One reason I sell Browning is the biggest brand that I sell,
Yeah.
or sell the most of, is because of one of the things other than fire and security is their interior.
Yeah.
It's fully adjustable, has accessories you can put in, and really nobody else on the market has
great.
that.
It's
Yeah.
good.
So for home safe, gun safes, any kind of safe you want to call it, they're really the most versatile safe. And I carry 11 different brands, which one is Browning, but
Yeah.
I mean, my other brands are very good safes too.
Yeah.
And, people like different things. That's why I carry different brands.
Right. I mean, that's
so-
why there's different
But all
cars
the
on the
brands I
road and everything
carry,
else.
Absolutely.
yeah, all the brands I carry are good for one reason or another,
Yeah.
and just Browning, just all around safes. And one thing I try to do when you come in the shop, I'm not a used car salesman. It's
Right.
look, I'll show you my safes, show you what I have, answer your questions,
Yeah.
let you pick what you want.
Sure.
I mean, because I always hate going to somewhere where you're pressured and
Right.
people go, well, I got the special safe over here, and they want to sell you that
Yeah.
safe, and they don't listen to you. That's one thing I try to do, is listen when my customers come
Yeah.
in and see exactly what they want. And,
Excellent.
try to sell them the safe they need.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it
I'm the
does. That's
same way. I
customer
don't-
service at its best, ain't it?
Well, yeah. And
That's what you want.
one thing I'd like to mention, I don't believe in having a lot of sales.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is, if companies, in my opinion, have sales all the time, it means their products are overpriced.
Right.
And there are a few brands out there that seem all they want to do is have a sale.
Yeah.
And we do. We have specials from time to time,
Yeah.
probably about 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
But my safes are not always on sale.
Right.
You
You're
know.
trying to
Sure.
give the best product at the
Best
best
product
value
for
right
money.
up front.
Sure.
Right now.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I mean, and I've been doing this a long time, and I try to treat people the way I want to be treated when I go in, whether it's
Absolutely.
buying a car or buying whatever gun or whatever
Sure.
I'm buying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we try to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to learning more about that as we go through the night. We're going to go over right now and do this week's wild game forecast. This week's wild game forecast is being sponsored by our friends over at Wilson Bank and Trust. You guys can stop in to see them at one of 29 Middle Tennessee locations. They've been taking care of all your banking and financial needs now for over 30 years. Be sure to tell them thank you for everything they do for us here at the show. Well, Dayton, a lot of rain coming in. Creeks
Oh,
are
man.
rising,
Man.
muddy water. What do you think is going to be on in the next few days?
I mean, you got everything happening. The shell cracker in, bluegill are in, catfish are spawning, bass are spawning. Everything's going. I mean,
Now,
it's that time of
shell
year.
cracker and bluegill, you hit on that. I wanted to mention that tonight for a minute because they are up right now. Bluegill will be more so even over the next few weeks. It's
Sure.
really going to turn on. The reason I love this time of year is there is not a better time to introduce a kid into fishing.
Absolute- or take- An elderly person that
same
hasn't got to
concept.
go.
Yeah, same thing. Because you can take them out there right now with the simplest of setups. A hook, a little split shot, some
Piece
little
of worm.
pieces of worm.
And have a ball.
All day long. And not only that, shell crackers, and when you get into the big bluegill, you're talking about some good eating fish. I mean,
Yes.
they're really good to eat if you do want to eat them. But if you just want to catch them and let them go, it's a great way to get a kid out there.
And they're shell cracker 20 per person, and crappie are 30. So
Yeah.
stay within your creel limits. And if you fish enough and go look enough, you can catch the bigger ones. And I'll give you a little information in a little bit and let you know where to find those big shell crackers on Old Hickory.
Yeah.
You're going to catch most of them sight fishing. A lot of the shell crackers I catch, I physically see them. It's not something that you can just go out.
You're casting to a fish. You
right,
know
you're absolutely, you'll see them. You can see, when they pull the lake down, Old Hickory is notorious. You can look down a bank and see them on top of the water just moving.
Yeah.
But if the lake's full, it's harder to find them. But always remember, they're around a piece of wood with a little rock and gravel like log jams, and just back in where waves don't hit.
Yeah.
I very
That's
seldom
good information
catch.
there.
I very seldom catch them to where the boat waves hit that bank all
Right.
day. You've got to find just something out of the waves.
A little slough,
just
pocket
a little
somewhere.
slough, pocket, something that waves don't hit.
Great information, man.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to get ready to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have this week's Pictures of the Week, and we're also going to be taking y'all on a great turkey hunt. We'll be back in just a minute.